Hey, what's up guys? Dan here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're trying a slightly different format. I want to share real campaign optimization advice from our Hilltop Ads managers, people who work with advertisers every day, see real campaign data and understand what actually happens after the launch button is clicked. We collected insights from Elm, Roman, Helena and Mike, and I'll break them down in a simple way: how auto optimization works, why one rule does not fit every offer, when a zone needs more time, what mistakes advertisers make at launch, and how your manager can help you get better results faster. Because launching a campaign is only the first step. The real challenge is understanding what to cut, what to keep, and when trust automation, or when to step in manually. So if you run campaigns, test traffic, or work with iGaming, dating, apps, sweepstakes, e-commerce, or any other performance vertical, this video is definitely for you. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you want to launch or scale your campaign with us, use the registration link in the video description. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with Elm, our BizDev manager at Hilltop Ads. Elm has been with us for a long time and works deeply with performance logic, tracking, and campaign optimization. So when he talks about auto optimization, it is not theory. This is real campaign experience. Elm's point is very clear. Auto optimization is not a magic button. It is a system for filtering traffic based on the rules you set. So you can create rules based on impressions, spend, conversions, or eCPA. The system checks each traffic zone, and if a zone does not meet your conditions, it can automatically move that zone to the blacklist. That is powerful because it helps protect your budget from sources that clearly do not perform. But there is one important detail. If you want to optimize by conversions or eCPA, you need proper postback tracking. Without postback, the system cannot fully understand which zones bring value and which ones only spend your money. In other words, automation is only as smart as the data you give it. Elm also gave a great example from iGaming. In this vertical, advertisers rarely optimize only by final deposit from day one. At the start, there may be a very few deposits, especially if the funnel is long or the campaign is still collecting volume. This is why it is smarter to pass several events through postback: registration, first deposit, repeat deposit, subscription, purchase, or other micro events that matter for your funnel. Here is why it matters. In the first 2 or 3 days, a campaign may not bring many deposits yet, but it may already bring registrations. If you look only at deposits, some zones may look empty, while in reality, they are bringing quality users at the top of the funnel. So, if a zone gives no registrations after enough traffic, you can cut it faster. But if a zone gives registrations and no deposits yet, maybe it deserves more time. That is the difference between blind cutting and real optimization. And the same logic can work for apps, dating, subscriptions, e-commerce, and any funnel where the user does not convert immediately. Another important point from Elm: one set of rules cannot work for every offer, every vertical, and every funnel. This is where a lot of advertisers get trapped. They find one perfect rule somewhere, copy it into a new campaign, and expect the same result. But the simple lead gen offer and a betting offer do not behave the same way. A submit form can happen quickly. A deposit, purchase, subscription, or rebuild can take more time. So if your rule says cut this zone after 1,500 impressions without a final conversion, you may kill a zone before it gets a real chance to show value. Rules should be built around the economics of the offer: payout, funnel length, conversion speed, early interest signals, and real quality events. These things matter much more than copying a rule from someone else's campaign. So, what should you leave to automation? Elm's answer is simple. Automation is great for routine and scale. Let auto optimization handle repeated tactical actions, cutting clearly weak zones, protecting your budget from obvious losses, cleaning sources that constantly miss your KPI, and applying rules that you already trust. But strategy still belongs to the media buyer or performance team. You still need to control the post-back setup, tracking quality, KPI logic, creative to offer match, bids, analysis period, and scaling strategy. Automation can follow rules, but you need to decide whether those rules make sense. The best approach is not automation versus manual optimization. The best approach is automation plus human control. Automation handles the routine. The human reads the bigger picture. Now, let's bring in Roman, also our business development manager at Hilltop Ads. Roman works closely with advertisers and has strong experience with iGaming, dating, e-commerce, and high-converting ad campaigns. So, his point is very practical. Not every good zone shows its value immediately. Sometimes the difference between a weak zone and a zone with potential is not visible in the first few hours. For offers optimized for sales or rebuilds or ROI or LTV, advertisers often need to look at performance over a little bit longer period. A weak zone will not show sales now, and it will not show delayed sales later. But a zone with potential may improve over 1 or 2 weeks as more data comes and the eCPA becomes more clear. Roman also mentioned direct publishers. These sources can behave differently because they have a stable audience. Their users may need more time, a little bit more time to see the product, recognize it, and become more familiar with it. In other words, there's a real awareness stage. And I think this is a very important idea. Sometimes a zone is not bad. Sometimes it's simply too early to judge it. This does not mean you should keep every zone forever. Nope. It means you should understand the difference between bad traffic and not enough data yet. Roman also recommends using zone statistics not only for cleaning traffic, but for finding growth points. A lot of advertisers open statistics, find weak zones, and blacklist them. That is useful, of course, no doubt, but you can go further. Ask your manager to analyze the campaign by publisher type and traffic segment. Look at operating system versions, browsers, peak conversion hours, devices, and patterns by source. Sometimes optimization is not just about removing bad zones. Sometimes it's about finding a segment that deserves its own campaign, a higher bid, a separate whitelist, or a new test. For example, one browser may convert better than others, one OS version may bring better quality, one time window may show stronger conversion intent. That is how statistics becomes not just a cleaning tool, but a source of new hypotheses. Now, let's move to Mike, our sales advertising manager. Mike works hands-on with advertisers and helps brands launch, scale, and fine-tune campaigns. His advice is very direct, and honestly, this is the kind of thing that can save budget before the campaign even starts. One of the most common mistakes is making targeting too narrow, too early, especially when different targeting settings conflict with each other. For example, combining IP range with mobile operator targeting, choosing application traffic but forgetting web view, using proxy traffic together with strict geologic, or stacking too many filters at the same time. Another common issue is choosing application traffic and then adding browser targeting, which may not make sense for that setup. And of course, limits matter. Some advertisers set no limits at all. Others set a very small daily limit, like $20, while also using a high bid. That can create unstable testing because the campaign does not collect enough data in a controlled way. Mike's recommendation is simple. Test with a tracker, start broader, and then narrow down based on real conversion data. Do not build a tiny campaign before you know what actually works. Start wider, collect signals, and then optimize. Mike also mentioned a very useful testing approach. One campaign working with blacklist logic and another one working with whitelist logic. That is a very practical, very smart way to separate testing from scaling. The broader campaign helps you explore traffic and find weak or strong zones. The whitelist campaign can then focus on sources that already showed potential. This structure gives you more control because you're not mixing every stage into one campaign. You have one place for discovery and another place for cleaner scaling. And again, it works much better when tracking is set up properly. No tracker, no postback, nor clear data, and every optimization decision becomes weaker. Mike also pointed out a few verticals that are active right now: AI dating, gambling, apps, and non-mainstream traffic. But the key is not to chase something only because it sounds hot. The key is to match the offer, traffic, funnel, budget, and optimization logic. Now let's talk about manager communication. And this is where Helena's advice comes in. Helena is our senior sales manager and she has been in ad tech and performance marketing for years. So when she says talk to your manager early, I would take that seriously. Her point is simple. Do not wait until everything is already going wrong. Before launch, tell your manager what offer you are planning to run, which targeting you want to use, what budget you have, whether you can set up postback, and whether you already have pre-landers for your offer. This helps your manager understand the campaign before the test starts. And when should you go to the manager during the test? If postback is set up but there are no conversions, if CR is weak, if the budget is spending without results, if your campaign gets declined, if you are not sure whether the setup is too narrow or too broad or simply not aligned with the offer. The more useful data you share, the faster your manager can help. Tracker screenshots, reports, conversion data, source level stats, targeting setup, funnel details, and all of this helps us understand what is happening and what can be improved. A manager is not there just to answer basic questions. A good manager, like our managers, can help you avoid bad tests, read the data better, and find the next optimization move. So, let's wrap it up. The big lesson from our Hilltop Ads managers is simple. Auto optimization is powerful, but it needs good rules, clean tracking, and enough data. Postback is not optional if you want real performance data. Micro events can help you understand the funnel before the final conversion happens. Short analysis periods can kill promising zones too early, and one rule will never fit every offer. Your manager can also help much more if you share the right information before and during the test. The real advantage comes when you combine automation, tracking, zone statistics, manager expertise, and your own strategic control. That is how you stop guessing and start optimizing with a real system. So if you want to launch campaigns with Hilltop Ads, test quality traffic, use tools like auto optimization, CPA goal, blacklists, whitelists, and work with a team that understands real performance traffic, sign up for your Hilltop Ads advertisers account using the link in the description. Set up tracking, launch your test, talk to your manager, and build your optimization process on real data. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell us in the comments what topic you want to break down next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.